Comic fam, what a week of comic sales. Let's get into it. These record breakers are astonishing. Another week, another list. Hit the subscribe button. We're here every week covering the record breakers in the comic marketplace. Jeff, the Golden Age guru, it was a pretty incredible week of sales, wasn't it?
There are so many amazing books on this list, I can't even express to you how excited I am to go over it.
Number 10 on the list, we're going to start you off with some Decapitation crime suspense stories. Number 22, debuting in 1954. Classic doesn't even begin to describe this comic book.
You get this book graded, it'll tell you it's a classic Decapitation cover. Johnny Craig greatness, EC horror. This is one of the books that probably caused us to have a comic code.
A 5.0 back in October, going for $5,000, up $1,527 this week. That's an increase of 31%, selling for $65.27. How do you feel about that price?
I love this book. This book's a classic. It will never go down. And if it does go down, don't expect it to stay down for very long because it'll come right back up.
Sounds like you'll be the one buying it if it does. At the list at number 9, Journey into Mystery 84. This second appearance of Thor, but more importantly, with Thor Love and Thunder Inbound, the first appearance and cover appearance of Jane Foster.
7.5 sold for $3,200 in 2020 and is up 149% for $7,977. That's a $4,777 increase.
If you enjoy what we do, hit the link in the description. We are in active enrollment for the June mystery mail call box. 1 per box, teaming up with Gary Frank, legendary Marvel artist, to get a Daredevil #1 classic electric cover in every single member's box of curated comics. Give me an excuse to send you comics. And number 8 on the list, Hulk 181, a 9.8 record breaker, exceeding $100,000 for the first time. How damn, comic fan.
Obviously, this is considered the first full appearance of Wolverine. It sold for $96,000 in April, but hit the $102,000 mark. That's up 6% from the previous sale. That's amazing. That sounds great. That's just showing you in black and white on your computer. But I know private sales of this book hitting $100,000 already. It happens. It's an amazing book. And if the centering is right, there's no weird smudge along Wolverine's arm, which is actually a very common issue in this book, you're going to see this book hit $100,000 consistently among really knowledgeable collectors.
You heard that right, comic fam. Although this is the first publicly recorded $100,000 record breaker, we have the guru on the show for a reason. This book has indeed sold for $100K in the past. Hit that subscribe button. And at the list at number 7, Amazing Spider-Man 667, the variant done by Gabriel Dell'Otto.
This is a tough book. A 9.8 sold for $33,600 in 2021, but we just saw a sale up 29% of $43,200.
Now that's an increase of 29%. It's a tough book because of that white cover, but also it is renowned. It's comic history. It's around this time that Marvel started to begin their incentive program. That's where a comic store is incented to order more copies so they can unlock the ability to get a comic that was printed less. This is considered, I believe, a 1 in 100. And that's why it's so tough to find. This is when they were rolling out the program.
This is interesting because this goes back and forth with Ultimate Fallout 4. 9/8 of the Dejavik variant goes for about $40,000, and now we're seeing this. Comment down below which one you rather have, that or the Dell'Otto.
So let me give the community a little bit more information because Ultimate Fallout 4 is the first appearance of Miles Morales. It's a key. This Spidey Island issue is not a key. But you're right, they both sell for near the same amounts, technically a little bit more for this variant cover on the list. The CGC census shows a lonely 21 copies graded at a 9.8 of Amazing Spider-Man 667. We know that of the Dejavik 9.8s, there are 156 in existence. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, comic fam. It'll enter you to win this Omni-Man Invincible #1 done by cover artist Tyler Kirkham.
Number 6 on the list, Batman 181, came out in 1966. First appearance of Poison Ivy. Notable thing you have to understand, this book came with a poster in the middle. People love to take it out and use it and hang it in the room. Just like Batman #1, the back cover was notoriously ripped off and hung on their walls. Check for the poster. A 9.2 sold for $4,213 in 2019, but we just saw a sale of $14,400. That's up 242%.
An increase of $10,000, hot damn, comic fan. But we knew this was coming. Back in 2020, a 9.8 comic hit the market, sold for $90,000. Then the next highest grade to hit the market was in 2021, a 9.6 that sold for $41,000. This 9.2 is the highest to come to market since then, justifying the $10,000 uptick. Next at the list, at number 5, we have Superman #1 debuting in 1939, 1 year after his debut in comics in Action Comics #1.
Whew, this is an extremely coveted book. People love this book. Despite the fact that it's reprinting stories from Action Comics 1, it's still his first issue in his own title. It was done by Joe Shuster. It's just like the Batman one. It's got that poster in the back of the cover as well, so you'll notoriously see no back cover on that book. A magnificent book. To have the Edgar Church come to market and sell for what it did is unbelievable.
Just to remind the community, this book holds the current record for the highest selling comic in history. The 8.0 Edgar Church pedigree sold for $5.3 million in January 2022. But we had a 1.5 come to market this week.
This book last sold in 2020 for $120,777. It is up 64%. And hit $198,600, $77,823 more bucks than its previous sale.
Do yourself a favor and download the best comic app in existence, Key Collector Comics. Use code TOM101 to support the show, but get access to a wealth of knowledge. We sourced 10 books off the runners up list that this past week, I mean, traditionally the list has like 20 to 30 books. There's over 40 notable record breakers that were included on the list. We're covering like 25% of this list. Go check out the other books. And let's talk about the second appearance and origin of Wonder Woman. Sensational Comics #1.
This is a great cover. Better than Wonder Woman 1. Better than All-Star Comics 8, her first appearance, which we'll get to soon enough. We had a 7.5 sell of this book for $13,301 in 2012. It just sold for $96,000. That's 622% increase.
The 7.5, that is the highest recorded grade to hit GPA since the 2019 8.5 hit. You had to wait quite a while for a high grade copy to hit the market, and back then it sold for $132,000. Imagine what an 8.5 would sell for in this marketplace. What do you think it would hit?
I think it would probably hit somewhere around $450,000 right now.
Hot damn. At the list, at number 3, Captain America #1, debuting in 1941, the first appearance and origin of Captain America. Steve Rogers, Jack the King Kirby greatness.
On top of that, first appearance of Bucky Barnes, first appearance of the Red Skull, one of the most recognized villains in all of the Marvel Universe. And we just saw San Francisco pedigree in April of this year sell for $3.12 million.
Trickle-down effect, anyone? This book does not come up often, does it, Jeff?
Absolutely not. You see this a handful of times a year.
We have a 3.0 that hasn't been seen publicly online, sale recorded since 2009, selling for $11,070. This past week, an increase of 1,201%, selling for $144,000. Hot damn, comic fan.
Number 2 on the list, All-Star Comics #8. This came out in 1941. This is the first appearance of Wonder Woman. She's not on the cover, which is a very questionable book for a lot of collectors because the cover itself isn't that fantastic. But the numbers are crazy high. A 9.4 sold in 2017 for $936,223. We just saw it sell for $1.62 million. That's 73% higher since its 2017 sale.
Over a $500,000 increase. And granted, it was since 2017. However, in my career in comics, I feel like I've seen this book a lot on dealer tables and walls. We have a lot of friends who actually have dealt with this comic book. How do you feel about that sale and this comic in general?
It's one of those books that's exciting to think about, but once you own it, you almost feel a little empty because she's not on the cover. I see a lot of people pulling their interest towards Sensation 1 or Wonder Woman 1 because she's on the cover.
Interesting. What do you think about this, comic fam? Don't forget to comment on the video. It'll enter you to win this Omni-Man Invincible #1 Tyler Kirkham cover. And at the list, at #1, we have a Ghost Grail. We have the third appearance of Batman, but the second cover appearance of Batman on a book that does not show up in the marketplace hardly ever. We have Detective Comics 29, debuting in 1939. Talk about this book, guru.
I never see this book come to market. I will see 27 come up 4 or 5 times over number 29. I will see 31 come up 8 to 10 times more often than number 29. It doesn't show up. So to see it come finally for sale, unfortunately in the highest grade that we've seen it ever, so the market pool of people being able to buy it is a lot smaller, it's still fascinating to see how this book will impact the collectible. And I think it undersold personally, if you ask me. Again, the title started 27 on the cover, and then he appeared on 29, and he did every other cover until they realized, oh, Batman is the main seller of this. And after 35 on, he was on every cover since.
So we have the third appearance of Batman, the second cover appearance because he wasn't on the cover of 28, just on the interior. And you mentioned it, the 8.5 is the highest publicly recorded sale on GPA. Although it's interesting to note that there are 2 different grades that are higher that are known on the census for this book. The 8.5 just set the price for $276,000 for the first time publicly in comic book history. Hot damn, comic fam. But this is what we do. We report on the comic market, the changes, and the new sales. Hit the like and slap the subscribe button. And as always,
Geek responsibly.
Enough said. Join myself, this guy, Gem Mint.
It's your boy Gem Mint.
Who'll be back next week, and so many of my other friends on the best new place to buy and sell comic books, Whatnot, available for both Androids and iPhones. Dollar start auctions that last as little as 15 seconds long. We also have 2 other videos for you. We made them for you. Peep the last podcast. This dude graded over 20 Hulk 181s. We have a fun conversation about those results. Have a great week.